Peace and light to everyone out there. This is Corey, aka Core Real Thoughts. These are my thoughts and my opinions. And I do this podcast simply just to give my thoughts and opinions on various topics. Today we're going to talk about Black Panther. So if you like this conversation and you want to build on this conversation, you would like to share ideologies or ideas about what we witnessed with this new installment from Ryan Coogler, please comment in the comment section, hit that like button, hit that bell button, so we can squad up every time. Alright, so I just got back watching the Black Panther. Again, this is my second time watching it. Went there the first time for entertainment purposes, for the culture and everything. But then the second time I went by myself just to look at it with my third eye. See things that I probably didn't notice. A lot of symbolism in this movie, which we definitely will touch on the Mother's House podcast. But we're gonna get right into it. So Black Panther came out, you guys, and I love it. I love every aspect of it. Let's begin right from the beginning. When you hear this young child and the father, I believe that's supposed to represent T'Challa, and T'Chaka having a conversation about the lineage and the history of Wakanda, how it became to be, how the Black Panther became to get his mantle, the representation of Bass. Bass is a goddess. She's not a man. It's not a woman. It's not it's a deity, right? We get that, but Bass is representation of the women giving the power to the men. You know what I'm saying? Giving them, so even if you go back to my Kendrick Lamar video, when you look at that video, he has to go through the women to be able to get his power, to the goddesses, to be able to be presented with that power. And I think that's what Bass represents within the lore of Black Panther, and they show that in the beginning of the movie. But the beginning of the movie also paid homage. I love the fact that they pay homage to, not only Oakland, but the Black Panther Party, because that's where, the Black Panther Party started, in Oakland. So I love that aspect. So we're gonna start off. I did this in like a 7 bullet points that I want to touch on, so I don't be here too long. And I want to let y'all know this is a spoiler review again. If I didn't say it earlier, this is a spoiler review. If you haven't seen the movie, pause this video and come back, because I may say something that that may spoil you. And if you watch the movie already, and you can build off of what I'm saying, or have a different opinion of it, or help me to understand, let's just have a conversation in the comment section. All right. So the first one that's titled, A Brother's Betrayal. The family and generational effect on the children. So the movie starts off with the conflict between T'Chaka, King T'Chaka, who is the Black Panther, the first Black Panther that is represented, with his brother N'Jobu, who lives in Oakland. He's in the beginning, you see N'Jobu look like he's trying to smuggle guns and trying to hit some possibly a armory to try to get some more guns for the people or for the cause. It's not really clear, but T'Chaka come in, and he questions his brother, on his betrayal to the kingdom, and betrayal to Wakanda that caused a lot of death by uniting or conspiring with Ulysses Claw in order to get his hands on the vibranium. That's what N'Jobu needed, and he wanted the vibranium. Due to as he stated, in the movie, we suffer from people over here in America, in particular, are suffering from drug addictions. They can't find finances. They can't find jobs. They suffer from bad health, bad food. They suffer from, the drugs. They suffer from violence, police brutality. They're getting killed every day, and we have the means, Wakanda had the means to protect these people. Why don't we protect these people? And he knows his brother is not going to get down with that. That's why he went through using the claw to be able to get his hands on the vibranium, so he'd be able to, enrich and empower, black folks over here in America, so they won't have to go through that suffering. And that's showing that he has a deeply seated love for not just, his own people, not just, his people, the people of Wakanda. When, and this is another thing. I see myself as Wakandian. I see myself as, the kid from Oakland, Killmonger. I see myself in every aspect of this movie, because every person in this movie, have characteristics and similarities to everyone everyone we know. So we are all the same people. That's another thing this movie kind of points out too, and that's kind of where Jobu comes from. We are all the same people. He even feel kind of guilty that even though he pushed that mindset into his son just took it to a whole nother level, to a whole different level than what he envisioned it to be. But that's neither here nor there. So this is the thing. So T'Chaka ended up killing his brother in protection of Shuri. Forrest Whitaker's character, actually Denzel Whitaker, is playing Shuri. Young Shuri. I peeped that game out thanks to Thought Crimes. I didn't recognize until I saw it the second time. I was like, yeah, that is Denzel Whitaker. Look at him. Lost some weight and looking pretty cool out there. So yeah, King T'Chaka ended up killing his own brother. And in doing so, he ended up, in order to hide, to keep to maintain, the throne, and maintain the secrecy, to maintain the lie, as Shuri stated to T'Challa when he was confronted about this whole incident. He ended up killing his brother, and leaving and fleeing without taking his son, knowing damn well his brother had a son with an American woman, with leaving Killmonger, who turns out to be Killmonger. Killmonger living in America with knowledge of Wakanda, knowledge of this great fairy tale civilization that never been conquered, never been overthrown by any forces or colonial forces, never had been put into slavery, was able to take their own agency and be able to build their technology to the ends of no man have ever seen. To grow up hearing those stories, and then having the person that told you these stories, that gave you this knowledge, that gave you this love for those people, love for your people, be killed by that's your same people. It's like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? It caused a lot of trauma and turmoil and anger and just pure rage for Killmonger. And that's how it affected him. Now, T'Chaka leaving Killmonger there had created a situation where T'Challa now had to face his cousin, the rage of his cousin from the mistakes and attributes and the mistakes of not only just his father but his ancestors as well. So, this is the thing. We have to be very cognizant of what we leave behind for our children, even in our everyday life, in our everyday conversation with each other. Past beefs can renew generations later. You know what I'm saying? That's why we got to be mindful and of how we treat each other, black people. You know what I'm saying? If we continue to cause conflict amongst each other just because we're heated in this moment, just because we're in a disagreement in this moment, disagreement in this ideology, even though I don't fully get what you're talking about and you don't fully get what I'm talking about, but we can't come together for the children. You dig what I'm saying? And we can't do that. Those same problems or worse problems going to affect our children down the line, generations down the line, and it's going to happen. It's going to happen with my children. It happened with me from my father. The sins of the fathers always begets the child. So with that being said, let's move on down to the next point. The challenges of traditions and teaching technology. So, in the movie, there's a scene where they at the Warrior Falls, with a beautiful scene. That's one thing. Ryan Coogler and the filmographer and the costume director, they did great. The aesthetics, everything was beautiful. It was amazing to see on screen, right? But they at the Warrior Falls for T'Challa's becoming a king, and what I saw from this scene where M'Baku, who played by Winston Duke, who did an amazing job, he comes in to challenge T'Challa, but before he do, he had to state his claim, because he's from the Jabari Wild. They don't believe in technology. They believe in the traditional old ways. We need to go back to the old ways, hold on to tradition, But here, Shuri, right before they get ready to do the battle, Shuri making gestures and making jokes. And he's like questioning why she's over your technology. She's a jester, you know what I'm saying? She over here joking. She's a kid. You know what I'm saying? Kids need to have their place. That's traditional way of thinking. You know what I'm saying? And that's not a way of thinking of how things should be, but it has its place further, and you'll see that further down the line in the movie. It has a very important place further down the line in the movie. So, so when M'Baku challenged that train of thinking, you see, even when Shuri shot her brother the middle finger, or when Shuri, questions and let him know, like, yes, your thing is cool and all, but there's room for improvement. You know what I'm saying? And that's very true. That's the thing that they told in this story, that, even though tradition has its place, technology definitely has its place. And when we talking about technology, we ain't actually talking about, coltan or even vibranium. We talking about mentalities. We talking about train of thinking. We talking about the old thinking and new thinking. The old ways of doing things and the new ways of doing things. The trendy things and the fresh things, the hot things, the things that people are on right now, things that's popping, right? Then the things that just we always done. The what they call it, what's the word for it? The superstitions, you know what I'm saying, of the traditions. You know what I'm saying? I think the word is superstition. Y'all kind of get what I'm trying to say. Basically, it's the thought process, and the thing is, you need both. You need both to balance out. Period. Because you can't hang on to a tradition, because tradition end up conflicting and making you a hypocrite at the end of the day, and it causes what happens to Killmonger, right? Then you got where technology can't fix all problems. Sometimes you gotta lean on some traditional things, which we're gonna touch on a little further down in the conversation. And I can't talk about this movie without discussing about Killmonger and Michael B. Jordan portrayal of Killmonger, the way Ryan Coogler wrote Killmonger. Killmonger represents the pure rage and frustration due to trauma. You dig what I'm saying? His trajectory as a character is built off of revenge. It's built off of the missing connection to his ancestral past, and this going to also correlates with my 2 points right here: the frustration, the effects on the child, the spirituality aspects that's severed from the people. All this plays in together with Killmonger character and T'Challa character. Killmonger, he suffered from trauma due to the loss of his father, the loss of his and it's not necessarily just his trauma that he's battling with. That rage, he's battling with the rage of 400 years of oppression. He battling with the rage of slavery. He battling with the rage of colonialism. He battling because he's outside of Wakanda. He's seen what's going on out here. He's even in the military, actually participating in some of the destructions and destabilizations of foreign countries, of black countries, of African countries. And he's going along with it because he want to get to the one place that he know can liberate us all, but they too weak to do it because they got a weak king. They got a king in there. That's his mindset. And not only that, this king killed my father. So he's battling with post-traumatic slave syndrome. You know what I'm saying? He's battling from post-traumatic syndrome, PTSD disorder. That's what he represents. He represents that pure rage and frustration, and the main reason why it didn't work and it wouldn't work, and the reason why it could not have worked out for him, even though everyone across the board, everyone I talked to, they love Killmonger conviction, his plight, because his plight is not just for himself. His plight is for all oppressed people, to help them to fight off their oppressor and destroy their oppressor. That's what his whole thing. He's about destruction, right? So when Killmonger, now peep game, when Killmonger met his father in the ancestral realm, he didn't have the same connection as T'Challa did when he first saw his father. See, T'Challa has a personal connection to his ancestors because he knows who they are. That represent the difference in the somewhat abandonment that black people feel towards the African, continent, or people continental African, because they feel like Africans have that connection. They had that spiritual connection. And we're talking about spiritually, even now and within the movie. You know what I'm saying? Where African Americans have been severed from that due to Christianity, due to slavery, due to colonialism, and a lot of African nations have been too. But within this context of within this story, Wakanda never been colonized, so they actually have a stronger connection with their ancestors. They have a stronger connection with the traditions of connecting to their ancestors. In order to connect with your ancestors, you gotta know about traditions. You got to kind of somewhat have a respect for traditions as well, and a homage to those traditions. So when Killmonger saw his father in Jobu, and Killmonger's real name is N'Jadaka. So when N'Jadaka see his father in the ancestral realm after he overthrows T'Challa from the throne, his own cousin, after he overthrow him from the throne, he gets the ability to get his connection to Bass, through the Black Panther mantle, through the ritual, to be able to get in touch with his ancestors. And granted, he had to go through black women to get there. It was a black woman that helped mold him to be able to get to the place where he can talk to his father again. So when he get there to the ancestral realm, he having a conversation with his father, and he can't show any emotion. That shows a lot of black people through the trauma, through from enslavement. There's so many different things that cause our trauma, but through that, he becomes desensitized. He can't share a tear. Just off the bare fact that he's looking at his father. He sheds a tear by having a conversation with his father. You know what I'm saying? And he also had sharing a tear that's not only just, damn, I missed this, but rage. Like, he's like pissed the hell off. And he says something in this that's probably one of my favorite quotes within this movie. He's like, his father was like, they will never accept you at home, back in Wakanda. You will never be able to go back home. We will never be able to go back home. And he said, why? We still, I'm here. They will never accept you. And he was like, why not? I'm here. And that's that abandonment that a lot of African Americans feel from Africa. That abandonment a lot of African Americans feel from their ancestors. You dig what I'm saying? Where T'Challa had that personal connection, he's actually able to challenge his ancestors. So we about to get into that. The reason why I said it was the women that got my man Michael B. Jordan's character in Jadaka, Killmonger, to be able to speak with his father. The second time, it took women to be able to save T'Challa's life. After Killmonger overthrows the king, overthrows T'Challa, he in a bad shape. And not only that, he's also saved by Winston Duke, the man that challenged him for the throne. But Winston Duke character, M'Baku, has a sense of loyalty and sense of honor. You know what I'm saying? And that also shows that, you know, black men, we're not all the same. We're not all monolithic. We're not all ruthless. You know what I'm saying? And also, this also shows the correlation between the difference between tradition and technology, where Shuri is all about technology, and Baku is about tradition. They're in Jabari lands, because the Jabari tribe finds T'Challa, bring him to their home, put him on ice, because they know the traditional way how to preserve somebody who's in a coma, who had trauma to the brain. You got to put them in cold weather, put them in ice, all this different thing, and they doing natural remedies to try to heal this man instead of doing the fast way. Put him on a computer as Shuri can. She can heal him up probably within weeks. But this man just fell from a mountain onto the water, broken back and everything. And the only thing that can save him is the heart-shaped herb. The herb that was given by Bast to the mantle of the Black Panther that can save his life, which is another woman, right? So, here you go. You got Nakia, who went to go get the heart-shaped herb, steal the heart-shaped herb before Killmonger burned it all. Because he realized that's a threat. Gotta burn it all. It's gonna threaten my place here in the king. We ain't fucking with no traditions now that I'm here. That's another separation and difference of mentality between the old and new. You dig what I'm saying? So when Shuri gets there, so Nakia gets the heart-shaped herb, still a heart-shaped herb, and Baku shows them where that they have T'Challa. The mother rolls ahead and whip her chicken noodle soup, as my cousin Bud would say. Whip that chicken noodle soup real quick, good for the soul. The mothers always know how to heal their children. They'll figure out a way to make sure that everything their child's going to be okay if they can. You know what I'm saying? So you got Ramonda, T'Challa's mother, you know, doing the ritual. You know what I'm saying? In a lot of African traditions, the king and the queen are anointed. Not anointed, but they are shaman. They know how to, you know, to connect with the spirits. So while our mother whipping the heart-shaped herb, giving it to T'Challa is able to go back into the ancestral realm, and Shuri is there. You know, you got his past, who is Ramonda. You got his present, which is his sister, and you got his future, which is represented by Nakia. Even though that's his ex, that's still his love interest, which he hopes to be his future. You dig what I'm saying? So it took those 3 women to bring him back to life. 3 women be able to bring this man back to life. That also shows, even with after that scene, after he comes back, after he challenged his father and all his ancestors for the mistakes that the ancestors have made, that the sins of his father challenged him, he's able to call them out, and they can't do nothing about it because 1, they're gone, but 2, they have to respect it because they know they were in the wrong. That's what he said. You're wrong. All y'all wrong. I got to go back and fix y'all mistakes. I can't go right now. I can't die. How am I going to die and leave this for the generation of kids, and not just in Wakanda, but across the globe? You know, all black kids out here, right? So he ended up getting his strength. He comes back. You know, he's sitting there. They trying to figure out the game plan. His sister throws the necklace over his neck. The necklace, the Black Panther suit basically over his neck. And the Black Panther, though, that necklace supposed to represent the crown. In ancient Kemet, the crown is created by the black woman. And in this movie, the crown is created by a black woman, his sister. His sister creates that crown. She creates that power. She creates the crown that goes on the Black Panther. That what that's supposed to represent. That black women, you can't dismiss the importance of black women within your life, black men or black women or anybody, because they create the crown. Not only they create the crown, they create the king. They make you a man. And not in the sense like you gotta have sex with them, you gotta be able to live with them. That doesn't what make you a man. That ain't how they help make you a man. They make you a man by making you become more responsible for yourself, have dignity for yourself, have love for yourself, and not just love for yourself, but love for your people. You dig what I'm saying? That's what every aspect of every woman in this movie. If you look at Okoye, she has nothing but conviction and love for her people, nothing but conviction and love for her nation, nothing but conviction and love for the kingdom. You dig what I'm saying? If you look at Shuri, she has conviction and love for her people, that she would go out her way to create technological advances that the people be able to use and grow and thrive and evolve. Nakia, she has sincerity, love for her people. Ramonda, every woman in this movie was so powerful, and they show, even from the Dora Milaje. If you look at the Dora Milaje, they represent that warrior aspect of the Dahomey women. That's where they pulled from. You know what I mean? Even this whole city of Wakanda is based off of the Malian culture, the Mali kingdoms, or you could say Mali, you could say Kemet. You can say really different aspects. That's another thing they did very beautiful with this movie, was able to connect actual, realistic, traditional kingdoms within the continent of Africa, from the pyramids to all the technological advances, and marriage that with technology and bring this Afrofuturistic film to our eyes, and it's just beautiful on the screen. So where I'm at right now, I'm at 26 minutes. Man, this is long. I'm sorry if this is too long for you guys, but if you're here, I really rock with you. So last point I want to make, the last 2 points I want to make within this movie that I pulled from. And this is not a full breakdown. I'm not going scene by scene, story arc by story arc. I'm not following the story arc. I'm just pulling off things that I gathered from the film, right? So, at the end of the movie, you see T'Challa, end up somewhat adopting Killmonger's sentiment of, sharing the resources of Wakanda with the world, but where Killmonger wanted to give it to oppressed people, pretty much just black people, T'Challa decided to do it in a diplomatic, quote-unquote, way by sharing it with the globe, with white people. Everyone can get a shot at this. But before they show that part, I think that's something that Marvel kind of introduced and kind of wanted to make sure it happens because of the the Marvel universe. So, the UN situation, I think why that was in there, just to show like, we gotta kind of connect this with the universe some kind of way, because it seems like there's no connection yet, right? Other than Everett Ross. But he ended the movie in a particular way. He shot it from, I listened to a podcast, to an interesting interview that Brian Coogler did, and he was saying that how, the movie starts off in Oakland and it ends in Oakland. If you watch the movie, the after credits shows the whole UN thing, right? And he kind of just wanted to just leave it right there with the Oakland thing, because, I think he didn't want to necessarily show that, T'Challa is giving up what kind of resources to, pretty much the same people that have been and still are oppressing other groups of people across the globe. But he has to do that in order to push T'Challa's story to another season, to another movie, into the Infinity Wars. You know what I'm saying? But when he ended it with T'Challa going to Killmonger's birthplace after he killed him, after T'Challa ended up defeating Killmonger. And let's go back to the point when Killmonger, right before Killmonger, when he was so G, it was kind of G about how he killed. He was like, what you want to? T'Challa asked him, like, let him know, like, yo, we can actually save you, man. I don't want to kill you, because T'Challa has love for Killmonger. He did not want to kill his own cousin. He didn't want that to happen. He wanted him to stop. You know what I'm saying? If I have to kill you, okay, you gotta die, but I think I can save you. Let me save you. And Killmonger like, for what? So you can put me in jail? If you don't put me in jail, I want the fucking throne. I want what I want. It ain't gonna be no compromise right here, because I'm still hanging on to that anger and rage. But I see, I understand where you're coming from, cuz, but nah, I'm good. He told him, like, look, if I gotta, he told him, so you want to you can put me in bondage, put me in jail? No, just bury me with my ancestors in the ocean, with my ancestors who know death is better than bondage. And pull the thing on spear out his chest and he dies. So T'Challa goes to where, right after that, you see T'Challa goes to where Killmonger was where this whole situation transpired from that basketball court, from that basketball court, right in front of that project building. And T'Challa bought that building and turned it into an outreach center over in Oakland, California. He created an outreach center, and he let the people and have his sister oversee it. I think what Ryan Coogler wanted to do is end it right there, to show that T'Challa kind of is pursuing and pushing the same idea that Killmonger had, but he's like, it's not from the weapons aspect. It's from the technology and the intellect and the advancement of mentality and mindset, and you can use, teach them how to defend themselves as well, but more so that aspect, instead of just giving them guns and let them be on their way to create war. You know what I'm saying? So when the UN situation happened, and the reason why I call this the cracks, the buildings will still have cracks in its foundation, is because after the UN situation, he's opening it up to the technological advance, the world of Wakanda, to the globe. He's opening them up to it. You dig what I'm saying? But now we seeing, here comes Thanos coming into town during the Infinity War. What's about to happen here, y'all? We already know they're gonna be fighting in Wakanda. We know that's gonna happen. So he's opening it up a little bit too soon and a little bit too much. It's gonna cause a lot of conflict within Wakanda, because it's gonna cause a lot of damage and death in Wakanda. We can predict that. And when you open up your resources to the world that's rare, that nobody else has, that nobody else know you have or know how to attain it, you open that up to the world, people going to use that and oppress other people with it. That's how colonizers do. And it's going to backfire on T'Challa. I can predict that's what's going to happen in the next movie. We will see if it does. You know what I'm saying? But, can we build a real Wakanda? Granted, this is a fictional place. It's a fictional film. It's a fictional thing. We never seen nothing on this level. But if we have the mindset to be able to change our situation. We have the mindset to want to change our situation. We probably, the whole Wakanda thing might be exaggerated, but we can build our own Wakanda if we really put our resources together, and not just our resources, but our thoughts and ideologies aside, and do what's best for not just me right now, but what's best for the children and generations to come. With that being said, y'all, I'm gonna kill it right here. I talked enough, talked your head off. If y'all feel what I'm saying, if I missed anything, hit me up in the comment section. We'll build there. If you want more, just go to the Mother's House Podcast. I know it's been a minute since I dropped something on this page, but definitely hit me up on the Mother's House Podcast. We got 2 interesting reviews on Black Panther on our page that you can definitely probably listen to and build off over there. We're gonna do one more with my cousin Martin Ofu Maja on the Mother's House Podcast, so look forward to that. That's gonna have a lot of symbolism, breakdown of the movie. So yeah, man, thank y'all for listening, and until next time, hit that like button, hit that share button, and keep on building with each other. Peace, love, and light to everyone out there. All right, 1.
I will not raise my daughter differently than my mother raised me. The rearing I got from my mother, words cannot express. I could live in any time, I could live in any country, I could live on any planet, and I would be fine.
What was the key? What did your mother know? What truth was coming through your mother that's going to come through you to your daughter?
My mother gave us aphorisms to learn as children. And there are 2 that stand out foremost in my mind. One is, the inner reality creates the outer form. I learned this when I was in grade school. I was very young. And the other is, the universe bears no ill to me. I bear no ill to